Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to the home of the 5 minute or less video. I worked at IRS for a decade. I've been private practice for 40 years. I've been doing this 50 years. I have a very big following on Facebook of professionals, and I've been on TV quite a bit. They've asked actually my opinion. I'm dressed like this because my office is over there and I keep my suits over there. So you want what's in my head, you don't want to know what I'm wearing. So I have worked so many cases. Whatever I tell you today, if anybody tells you anything different, they're either lying to you or they don't know what they're talking about. So I have a whole team of former IRS agents. You can see all my interviews at 777, that's 37s IRS.com. Anyway, let me go in and I want to get right to the point today. I used to be a revenue officer and I used to knock on doors, and that's what I'm talking about today. So your job as a revenue officer is you get these cases. They're called TDAs. They're called something else now, and you have an amount of money you have to collect, or you haven't filed a tax return, and that case has come through your manager's queue, and then they've come into your zip code, and when you have an inventory that is manageable, the manager will dump cases on you. That's what happened. I was really lucky. I worked the beach area in South Florida, which is the coolest area to work. I was fortunate to have that area. Anyway, what's going to happen if an RO is knocking on the door? There's two things they're going to be asking for: tax returns, and or they want to collect money. If you're not home, they're going to leave a calling card. It's a small little card, which is form, I think it's 2246 when I worked there. I don't know what it is now, but they leave a calling card for you. Some get really fancy and tape it on the door. I have stories on what used to happen when I would do that. But anyway, at the end of the day, IRS can go ahead and will at some point give you a document request. And if you get that document request, you're going to have to give IRS all that information that they want, or they're going to subpoena that information from you. IRS generally is going to want a 433A financial statement. That's the one that the revenue officers want. They usually want your bank statements at least for the last 6 months. And before IRS comes out, they do some due diligence on you. And they know more about you than you actually think. They're not coming out banging on the door without knowing things. On their computer, they can find out a whole bunch of things. And things that puzzle them, they'll put that on the document request. It's a form 9297. So if you get that document request, the IRS wants that. And all IRS wants to do is close their case. They have an open inventory and they have your name on it with your social security number. Could be a business, could be a corporation, but IRS needs your financial statement to close their case. How are they going to close your case? By one of three ways. Generally two. So IRS will either put you in a currently non-collectible hardship, or they will go ahead and ask you to make a payment, or they may recommend filing an offer and compromise because they've looked at your case. So what you need to do, and I'm being as honest as I can with you, you need someone to prepare and look at your 433A before you walk in to IRS. The reason is you don't know what IRS is trying to evaluate, and unless you do, you're walking into a buzzsaw, and you're going to make a much higher payment if you're going to be a plan than you are going to want to go ahead and make. So it's good to call someone and find out ahead of time how IRS is going to work your case based on your financial statement. And if you do this yourself at this point in time, you're actually are doing yourself a huge harm. IRS has a national standards program, and that means IRS is going to dictate to you how much you can spend a month in four categories. So the IRS is also going to want all tax returns filed. They're going to want to make sure your ES payments are up to date, and or your W-2 you have sufficient withholding. So that's how they're going to work your case. If they bang on the door, they're going to give you, sorry, I was eating a Ritz cracker. I'm not feeling well, so I had a Ritz cracker. I'm sorry you've seen my Ritz cracker. But anyway, at the end of the day, that revenue officer's job is to close your case. So just be careful with the financial statement. Be very cooperative, and when they give you that document request, make sure you fulfill it and give them all the information they need. If not, they're gonna kind of be really upset that you didn't bother to fulfill everything they wanted. So listen, just so you know, as you listen to this, most people don't know why people want subscriptions. I want to tell you because you see them on all your YouTubes. YouTube thrives on people having subscriptions. The more subscriptions you get, they show you more. So if you like me, even if you didn't, would you give me a subscription? If you need advice on your IRS case, you can call me. You can leave a comment. I try to get back to people when I can. I got a number of followers. I try to answer everyone within 3 days. But anyway, if you have a small case, don't worry about it. Handle yourself. However, if you got a large case and your financial statement's a mess, don't get near it because the revenue officer is going to tear you apart. Anyway, leave me a subscription. I do thank you. Blessings.